are now tuned in to DAR Sports Media. It's the world of wrestling, and the world of wrestling is spinning as fast as it ever has, as hot as it ever has. And speaking of, we are hotter than ever because we got the man who's everywhere, who's covering everything, locally known, internationally loved. He works for PWI. He is one of the initial cadre of the Uncrowned. He also writes for The Ringer. He is Cam Hawkins, CeeHawk, dunking on losers daily. If you love that entertainment, jump on his thing. Great dunking, dunk contest levels of entertainment, but also lots of great dog content on that timeline. Our man Booster, I know he's around somewhere. He's participating in the pod as well. AEW All In, smashing.
The real star of
the operation.
Clear.
AEW All In weekend, smashing success. A somewhat controversial, maybe, Dynamite this past week, and the WWE closing in on a 2-night outdoor stadium SummerSlam.
Crazy.
You could not, between the weather and the clientele and the situation, there is no amount of money that you could pay me to go sit outside in that stadium. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a miracle from the hands of Jesus if there is not a thunderstorm during that show. As somebody who lives in this area, they are wild for this idea for a number of reasons. It is also, you look at the Northeast, you think it's kind of stuff. No, it is thanks to maybe some things that we won't get into on this show, it is oppressively hot up here during the summertime these days. So they're wild for that. It's like all of the things, the concerns that people had for the stadium show down in Texas a couple weeks ago, they're actually going to happen at this show coming up for SummerSlam. But we got our man Cam here. He was there for all of the exploits, all of the events last weekend, AEW All In down there. And one last thing I do want to say about it, there was a lot of consternation about the stadium, about how many seats were going to be filled, about how it was going to look. I cannot stress enough from somebody who was watching it on TV. Our man Cam was there. He probably hasn't had a chance to watch it on TV yet, because if he had started the show the minute he got out of the show, it would still be going at this point now, watching it on TV afterwards. But so I'm sure he hasn't had a chance to watch it on TV yet, but on TV, it looked perfect. It looked phenomenal. It was just the right size to where you still had the effect of a big time look with a stadium, but it was enough to where they could sell, they could move the tickets. There wasn't really any visible large sections of seats that were empty. So it was perfect. Everything went perfectly on that end of things. Looked amazing. Cam, you can tell us about your weekend, the events you were at, anything, maybe a little bit of behind the scenes fun stuff that people wouldn't be privy to, whatever you can say. A lot of connections there.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk a little bit about the show, but tell us about your weekend out there at All In weekend.
Yeah, man. It was I told his name's Adam Hopkins, one of the guys who runs PR for AEW. I told him that this is the smoothest weekend I've ever had doing anything like this. Wow. They made everything so. The night that we get there, so it's Thursday night. They run their AEW karaoke, and it's at the same hotel that they're running Starcast in. And so we get out there after dinner, and dinner is me, my man Brian Zillin, PW Torch, Sean Ross Sapp, Alex Queen of the Ring, Muscle Man Malcolm. We all get together at BJ's restaurant, and after dinner, we're like, okay, let's shoot to the Sheridan to go to this AEW karaoke thing. And we get there like after Danielson and I forget somebody. They're doing a duet. I think it might have been Ospreay. I don't know. But we get there after that, and we come in, and it's like in their ballroom, and the fans are in the middle, talent's like off to the side and the VIP side. So we're over there hanging out with those guys. It's a lot of fun, and take a bunch of pictures and singing and drinking, and it's really cool. So the next day, and then my favorite part, my man Kev Knight is in. He's at the bar we met up with him later because they went out to dinner for Nick Wayne's birthday. Nick Wayne just turned 20, of course, he's a child. So he went out for his birthday. So we're at the bar, we're drinking with Kev, and then off in the cut is like Conrad and his guys. So we have a couple of drinks with them, hanging out. But all in all, like, there was a really, really fun event. So the next day is actually StarCast. And I kid you not, we go in there and there's like a line waiting to get merch. I go to the bathroom. I look next to me and I see the largest human I've ever seen. Again, we cover wrestling for a living. We've all seen these large, huge people. I look at the guy. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything to him. So I go upstairs and there's where all the town is signing autographs, and we're walking around, we're saying hi to everybody, we're dapping them up. And then the guy is next to Brian Keith. And me and Brian Keith are cool. You know, he before he got signed with AEW, you know, he's a Houston guy. I've watched him do like the local stuff. If you look on my Instagram and my Twitter, there's a picture of Rose with a backwards cap and a raincoat sitting on the couch. And that raincoat is a Brian Keith raincoat. They only made like, I don't know, 50 of them or something. So like, that's my guy. So I look at him, and the guy's next to him. I look at the guy and said, hey, didn't want to say hi to you in the bathroom. Nice to meet you, George Kittle. he's just the biggest person ever. And, you know, Brian Keith, one of the best wrestlers in the world, is a normal sized guy relative. And George Kittle's just twice the size of a human. It's the craziest thing. So we see him, and then like, you know, Swerve's walking through, and he's like, hey, what you doing tonight? I was like, we're going to your show, because Swerve's doing him and Montez are doing running through their songs at a spot in Deep Ellum. So, but before that, we're doing the StarCast thing. We walk through, then we go do the ROH Stadium's media. So everybody they had for AEW did their media around the ring that the ROH show was happening. And so it's Hurt Syndicate, Tony Storm, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Hobbs, and Big Boom AJ. And Lazard didn't really have any interest in talking to Big Boom AJ. Not that I don't like the guy. It's just, I don't know what we're going to talk about. So it's kind of a lull between interviews. And he's like, hey, we should talk. And I'm like, oh, well, I was getting ready to say, no, let's just do it. I said, okay. So Big Boom AJ strong arms me into doing an interview. But it was really fun. He was really sweet. And even I don't really know how to gauge it, because of course it's not going to quite be WrestleMania where you have Complex and TV Insider and, you know, you name it, outlet coming to media day with their big cameras and all that kind of stuff. So it was really like the kind of the who's who of who does it on the ground level, I guess. You know, it is Lyric Wrestling, it's Sean Ross Sapp, it's Emily May, it's Muscle Man Malcolm, my man Brian Zillum, of course. So it's kind of who you usually see on the timeline, kind of, you know, covering the stuff. But it was a lot of fun, man. I actually did my work before I got there. So we covered for Yahoo Sports. We did Athena like week before last, and when we did the very first Very Best Wrestlers book, it was basically for Athena, because it was kind of like she's not getting her just due. She's not getting her appreciation. We want to make sure that, yeah, like she knows how cold she was this year. So when I talked to her, I got to give her like the PDF of the book, and she loved it. She's like, "Oh, this is so cool." Great conversation with her. And if you go back and watch Athena win her match at AEW, she turns and she sees me ringside, and she's like, "Yep." And I was like, yeah, you did it. It was really cool. But yeah, we got to cover Athena. But what happened was we were originally supposed to get Goldberg for the Ringer, and it ended up falling through. But what I said was, I said, look, and I hit my man Danny at AEW. I said, Danny, if I give the Ringer Goldberg, and I do not give Yahoo somebody big, they're going to fire me. And they're not going to fire me, but you know what I mean? Like, I can't give y'all Goldberg and not give them somebody. He was like, all right, so what about Omega? I was like, what you mean, what about? Yes, Kenny Omega, damn it. And so that was, we were supposed to do that Wednesday because I knew we were driving up Thursday. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to him at midday Wednesday. I already took the day off. So I'll write all Wednesday so that way we can just leave Thursday. Kenny can't do it Wednesday. It's a scheduling conflict. And then Danny hits me. He's like, well, Kenny said he could do it Thursday, but I told him that wasn't enough time. I was like, shit, man, you better get Kenny on the phone. So we ended up talking, and shout out to Megaran, because they say that Kenny's kind of not standoffish, but if he don't know you, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. So I immediately was like, my man Megaran said that you're kind of a grump, so I'm going to be sure not to upset you. And that immediately like disarmed him, right?
Yeah.
So really cool conversation. I wrote that in the car. So my man Brian Zillin was driving. I wrote the whole way to Dallas. It's like a 3-hour drive. We get there to the hotel, and I'm like, yo, I just need 1 hour to punch it up, and then we'll put it out there. So that came out really good, I think. The thing with Kenny, but like I said, I did my work before we got there. So when we got to when we're on our way to media day, I'm like, shit. I'm really just going because I'm invited. I know I'm not going to do like a long form interview. I'm not going to wear a suit. Like I'm not, I didn't bring my individual mics. I didn't bring my mic stand because I forgot it, or my camera stand. So I was like, fuck it. Let's just have fun. Right. So on the way there, we stop at Walgreens and I pick up a deck of Uno cards. And so I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So we're just going to shoot it. And everybody was really receptive to it. It was really cool. I thought Tony Storm had a lot of fun doing it. Mark Briscoe had a lot of fun. Excuse me. I don't even remember if me and Hobbs did it because me and Hobbs are like cool. So I don't know if we even played cards. I think we might have just talked, but I want to put that one out. But Hurt Syndicate and especially P were pretty much like in character for what they're presenting right now, right? So I said, P, you're not gonna play me. He said, what you mean? I was like, P, you're not gonna play me. Are we playing cards or are we not playing cards? Because I'm not gonna turn this camera on and you tell me that we're not doing it. But he was like, no. Like, let's keep it serious. I was like, okay, cool. So we did that. And I put shout out to my man Adam Bernard, my man Goober, because I was like, yo, I can make TikToks, but I don't want to make TikToks. I will give you the raw video and you can decide what you think should be on a TikTok. So we put out like a couple of those interviews. That was real cool. So that is Friday afternoon. Between that and ROH, I went and got lunch in Dallas, came back, went to the ROH show, which is really cool. They gave us really cool seats. I got to watch, Athena do her thing, Bandito do his thing. Like we were coming in, we're walking around to our seats, and Lee Moriarty comes out because he's like getting ready, and it was so cool to see Lee. His art's taking off. Like he's like in an installation in Miami right now. So it was so good to see him and talk to him before his match. We went to ROH, and then Friday night, we went to Swerve's show. I got to meet up with one of my best friends from college who lives in Dallas. Drank way too much, and then went back to the hotel. And it's me, Brian, Haley from Vice, and our homegirl Auntie Collins. We sat in the hotel lobby till like 3 a.m. talking about media and social media and all that. Who did I sit next to? I sat next to Brian, baby. Sat there till 3 a.m. drinking, listening to Phil Collins. It was amazing. It was incredible. But again, till 3 a.m. The next day we got to go to the damn All In, right?
Oh, and you at that point you didn't know what that was going to entail,
bruh. So me, Brian, and my man Jacob, who does local Dallas radio. Jacob scoops us. We get to the arena, and Globe Life baseball stadium, but the way they have everything, it's like a big complex. Like you could walk to Jerry World from Globe Life. It's all really close. And listen, shout out to AEW. AEW gave us like individually named media passes. That's nice. That's a nice touch,
Yeah,
right?
it's cool.
I did not have time to eat anything inside of the inside of media because I also had ringside seats. I had third row seats. Shout out to my man Greg Gibson from Black Sports Symposium, from Kicking It Sneaker Shop. We were sitting really close. And two things. Now, because of how long we've been doing this, people like recognize us. And advent of social media, right? So, we're walking through the stadium. People are like, hi, what's up? Can I take a picture of this and that? When I get to the floor, I see a guy wearing, he's wearing a fourth rope shirt. He's wearing a West Side Gun shirt. And I tap him and I'm like, yo, that shirt is cold. And he turns around. He looks at me. He said, huh? It's you. And I was like, that's crazy. This is crazy. And now people around me are looking at me crazy. And he was so nice. He's like, yo, I'm a big fan of what you do on social media, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I just met Gunn and blah, blah, blah. It was really cool. So we get to the seats. And this is before no, it was after Gunn and Dizza and MVP do the We Hurt People theme. They're coming to their seats and they're sitting right in front of us. And so like I go to dap Gunn up and his security like gets in between us. He's like, yo, he's trying to get to his seats, my man. He was like, you don't know who that is, man? That's CeeHawk. And I was like, this is so cool. This is so cool. The people are looking at me like, this is so cool. But we sat like right with them. Now, I had to go back and forth a little bit, but I pretty much sat in the ringside seats. Man, that was a good show. That was a really, really good show. Really good wrestling. Close out a lot of the stories they were telling. The one thing I didn't get to do was I didn't get to see the main event on the floor because at that point it's time to go back up and get ready to go to the press conference, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
We got, I kid you not, Lashley has his own. You good, baby?
I don't know, but you're just talking this person's ear off.
I'm doing a show, baby.
Oh.
She said, you're talking this person's ear off. Yes, that is what I'm here to do. What? Okay.
You were going to say Lashley has his own, and
yeah,
I was going to say Orbit because he's fucking enormous. Yeah.
He has his own cameraman to follow him around and document his stuff. So I meet the camera guy at Media Day. Somehow, him and I get stuck in a staircase and can't get out because we think we're going like to the floor from where we are. I don't know what floor we were on. Let me let him in. Hold on. He'll come eventually. He's with his mama. But so me and the camera guy get stuck. When we finally get to the floor, I'm trying to walk back to my seats, and Ricochet's there with Samantha and her daughter. I ain't seen Samantha in a minute, and I ain't seen Ricochet the day before. She was like, uh-oh, here comes the media. And it was so nice to see them, man, because it had been a minute. I hadn't seen them together since Wale Mania, as a matter of fact. But it was really cool. And then Juice is standing there with him. I looked at him right in his face, and I was like, you like Bo Dallas right now, right? And he just started laughing because, he shaved everything. Mm-hmm. But the press conference was really cool. Took too long. So we get there at 2:00. The show's over at like 8:00. The press conference is another 2 hours. And boy Tony, ask him a question. He gonna get you about 4 or 5 answers. He was going. But it ran really smooth. We got out of there like 10:00, and then Texas Live. So they have like their own little outdoor concert venue, right outside of the stadium. So we go out there, and there's like a VIP section for the wrestlers and the talent. And Brian Keith performed Still Tipping, but he was performing Still Tipping by the time I got there, so I was hyped. But yeah, we hung out with everybody was there from Swerve, Hurt Syndicate, Darius Martin, Stat was there. Preston Vance was there. Preston Vance politely offered to throw me through a wall on Friday night. So on Saturday night, I was like, "Hey, you have to play me like that," and we just started laughing. He was really cool. That's a big dude. Like I didn't, like you see everybody on TV and they're like comparable. That's a big motherfucker right there. But yeah, Gunn and Dizza came. Hobbs was there. Yeah, everybody like that. I guess hangs out with each other. Kind of showed up. But it was really fun. And then we and of course Carly and Sean, who are everywhere. Sean Dean and Carly Bravo. Trisha Dora was there. Yeah, just a really, really fun. All right. So Osprey's there, and I talked to him on Friday. It was the first time we met since we did the article, and I was like, "Yeah, we did." Blah, blah, blah. He was like, "Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. It was a great job, bro. I really appreciated it, bro." So we go to there's a bar upstairs because they closed off the outdoor eventually. There's a bar upstairs. I'm standing there. It's me, Phil Lindsay, Righteous Reg, Brian, couple other people, and we're standing there with Osprey and his manager because his manager is also Kenny's manager. So we were talking about the piece we did for Kenny, which apparently he didn't hear about until it was out. I was like, "Oh, my bad." But Osprey's there. I guess he's with his old lady, and they play his music, and he gets so annoyed because he's like, "Bro, like I'm just trying to have a drink, bro. Like I'm not trying to." Like, I don't want the attention on me. Like, it was really cool. But yeah, that was that's Saturday night. So then me, Brian, Phil, and Reg go back to our hotel, and we're sitting in the lobby talking till 5 a.m. And so then me and Brian have to leave at 9 a.m. to go back to Austin, 3-hour drive, because I'm hosting a watch party for Evolution. At 6. I was in that watch party, and Evolution was a very good show. Excellent. Boy, I was sitting there like this the whole time. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to be around nobody. But it was so good. Start to finish, just a really, really good show. I don't even want to do the thing where like it makes you wonder what it would have been if they put more time into it. No, it was just a very good show. They could do that every year, and it worked. That was really, really good. And then I woke up. So yeah. That's my my all-in weekend. Jesus.
So the next time, if I ever get a chance, or if you remember, I'm very curious. I want to know who Osprey's football club is. I want to know what football club he reps for, because I thought it was Colchester. I have a soft spot for them because he's announced as being from Essex. Mm-hmm. But I did some research, did some looking on some pages, and I don't want to blow up a spot, but maybe that's not. Maybe not quite the case. So I'm curious. I want to know who his football club is. Next time. Hell of a weekend. What wrestling wise on All In, what stood out to you? What favorite match, favorite moment, a little bit of wrestling analysis from our guy. So we could do the same thing for Evolution as well. Like
it was really cool.
And then you mentioned it earlier, but I didn't want to break up the flow of the story. Takeshita Bandito, man. I've been both of them. So Bandito for like 5-6 years that people can't get me to shut up about this guy. Bandito's up next. Bandito's going to be this. Bandito's going to be that. And then I've been a big Takeshita guy from day one, but been one of my 5 favorite wrestlers, and they 100% delivered. When I saw them on the bill, I'm like, this is going to be, and it was all of that and more. But for you, stuff that stood out to you match wise, moment wise, all that from the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Tony Storm, Mercedes. Of course, Athena getting the contract. The tag match, Bucks and Swerve and Osprey. Like I always say, Bucks aren't my style. Bucks aren't my style. Same. You not being my style, but you being very good at the thing you do, like that matters more. And they're very good at the thing that they do. You know what I mean? Like
I've been on here a bunch of times saying Young Bucks ain't really my thing, but that hasn't stopped me from being like, yo, that Young Bucks match was awesome. Like, numerous times.
For sure. Loved. I really like the 4-way with Sammy, Dustin, Kyle, and Garcia. Um, Dustin got a school, 10 miles from where I live. And so it was cool. Like his, you can't see it, but it would have been not entrance ramp side, but like diagonal from entrance ramp side. So not entrance ramp side and not camera side, but diagonal away from there. That's where like family and friends were sitting. And so like a bunch of his students and people who train with him were sitting up there too. Him getting the win, in like I hate to say in Texas because Texas isn't a monolith, but when there is a show in Texas, wherever it is, if it's a big show, all the students from all over are coming. The family from all over are coming. So it was good to see him get a form of a hometown win.
That was going to be my pick. The two things I was going to pick from the week from that show, from those shows, was Takeshita, Bandito, and that. It's been, you, me, True. We're all like 31. I've been watching. No, I'm joking. Been watching wrestling a long time. It's very, very rare at this point that something makes me sit up on my couch and say, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" And that was my exact reaction when Dustin pulled that off. I was so hyped about that choice and going forward in the match. Hey, they didn't have him on Dynamite on the next follow-up. It was one of the best moments on the show, but hey, that's for later. Keep going. Other matches,
even the main event,
you like was that?
Yeah, even the main event, like doing it the right way, going with
absolutely
who should win, paying off the story. Like, do that more. Everybody do that more. You don't have to be smarter than everybody. It was the perfect send off, the perfect finish for the people in that building. I think they felt rewarded. Just really, really good stuff. And listen, man, I don't know how Lashley and Shelton are still doing this thing at this level.
Ageless, incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, I'm just the biggest Kevin Knight fan. Was around him all weekend. And listen, they got one if they want one, they got one if they want one with him, Fletcher, Garcia. If those guys are still there in 5 years, those are the guys. And there's more guys, not just them. You look at, Osprey's there, Swerve is there, of course. But like next up, guys who've not been kind of to the mountaintop, they got guys. And so seeing, Kev get in there and mix it up with guys like Hurt Syndicate, who's still doing it at that level, man. It's again, I just, if I go to a live wrestling show, I'm going to complain about so little. And I think that more people should just go to live shows. Like, you're just going to really enjoy what you see. But on the flip side, I'll tell you this. You talked about me watching it back. I ain't watching shit back. I can't do it. Like, I've tried to go back and watch WrestleManias I've been to and stuff. I can't do it. You can tell me about it and show me clips. I can't revisit these things in that way. Once it's done, it's done. Hey, you. Come here.
Let's get the real star. Okay. Let's get the real star in here.
Get the real star over there.
Come here. Say hi.
Get some theme music hit.
There we go. Yeah, say hi.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no.
Yes, sir.
Revisiting, not for me either. Even during the show, it was so I had to. Okada and Omega come out. I'm like, bro, I've already seen this 4 times. I already know how long this is going to be. I went out in the back, the dog, this is how it segues. I went out in the back with my dogs and threw the bone around for a little bit, literally touched grass with the feet during that, because I just needed some sun and some air. I especially don't need to see this for the 5th time in hour 6 of this show. But to pivot, we got the big 2-night SummerSlam coming up, like I was talking about. What do you think about what's going on with, this SummerSlam build, 2 nights? We just had the big show out there in South Texas. I know you were taking a break at the house, but everybody did check in with you because it's the king of South Texas. We know 2 kings of South Texas, don't we, True? We have 2 pods this week. Our man Josh, we got to link you 2 up. That'd be a fun meeting. They were down there in South Texas. Fun show last night. The build to SummerSlam is fully on. Cody's doing splashes off the rope with the contract still in his hand. It was hilarious. What What do you think of this SummerSlam build, the way things are developing towards this 2-night show coming up in a few weeks?
Right now is as good, I think, as Cena's been on this run. I think Cody is, still a very hot character. It's like everybody's like, I wonder if it's going to be a double turn. I also wonder if it's going to be a double turn. I hope the wrestling's better than last time. It was a spectacle. Yeah. It was what'll happen. What are they actually going to do? I don't think we don't have to worry about, Travis Scott coming out or anything like that. But
well, I don't know if I would say. I don't know if I would say that. Proclaim that with such confidence.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interested to see how Jade and Tiffany Stratton do. I think that if anything, it's a chance for Tiffany Stratton to really show she belongs at the top of the heap. You know what I mean?
If you're the champ, you got a ring general of that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If it doesn't, but I think that not that she doesn't get credit for it, but that's a big, strong lady too,
Yes.
And so them going power for power is going to be really interesting. For all the things that John Cena lacks in being career babyface guy who is now a heel, Naomi's crushed that. She has crushed career babyface to heel. She's crushed it.
Such a revelation. We talked about it on the last one. I don't know if I can even think of another situation where just the combination of things where, for one, it's this person. Have we ever seen anybody with this level of radical repackaging after being there for like 10 years? She's there for all this time. And then they're like, hey, Naomi's pretty good. Maybe we should do something. And then it's just this complete makeover. They completely hand her the ball, and she is fucking phenomenal. Like, just phenomenal in everything that she's done since the new music and the new look. The promos are fucking great. Like, I cannot say enough about it. And I'm so happy that she's the centerpiece over there. You're 100%.
And she can wrestle. She can wrestle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's the athleticism is still there after all this time, and that's probably the most surprising thing. Not like because she's a woman, but because almost nobody's athleticism is still here after all that time. You know what I mean? She's crushing it. And listen, her interrupting what was a phenomenal match in the way that she did is exactly how this Money in the Bank thing is supposed to work. Yep. And 100%. It's a situation where everybody gets a chance to fix it. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what it should be. What else is on the card? Like it's 2 nights, right? Isn't it like Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and who?
Drew.
And who? Logan Paul.
Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Drew. Yeah.
So I was surprised. I heard that. Well, it came out later that Jelly had actually he attended wrestling school, I guess, for a bit. I don't know how much.
He locked in. They said he was locked in. Yeah.
Cool. And it's all looked better than I thought it would. I'm kind of known for in my social circle. Like I'm always like, why is Jelly Roll in something that is in my orbit like every second week? Like, why can I not escape this person? Why is he's on football, he's on wrestling, he's on something, he's hosting some show. I cannot escape Jelly Roll. Why is he fucking everywhere? And then of course he's on SummerSlam.
Nobody knows what his music sounds like, but they always just tell you don't know his story, man. You don't understand where he came from.
That's absolutely true too,
man. Yeah, good for him. They got what? Punk and Gunther.
Yeah. With suspected maybe some shenanigans going down with maybe a briefcase of sorts.
Yeah. I don't try not to speculate on injury. I'm not afraid of like being worked. I'm just like, I don't know. Hope the guy's okay. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, like, Punk's the guy to put in that spot right now. I'm really interested. I don't know if Punk has another world title. like if he gets one between now and the time that he leaves for whatever reason. So I'm interested. If not now, when? But
Yeah.
there's always a Mania next year. I tell you what, that damn Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, boy, that might steal the show. Like,
Yeah.
Becky is hell bent on getting her over, and not in a way like I'm Becky Lynch and I need to show you how good I am by getting this person over. In that, no, I think this person has it. I think she's next up, and let's put her up there. And yeah, man, they've been good together. That triple threat was really, really good. I wonder, where Bayley figures into all this, because she's been crushing it. But yeah, that might still show. Tonight,
Especially, it's like you get people working together so many times. Like this last one might be their magnum opus where they hit it. They know exactly what to do with one another. So yeah, no, agreed. That'll be probably a great match. Yeah. I'm not gonna Meltzer this like he did the other day. But I'll just say the night of, my reaction to the Seth Rollins situation is that everybody reacted to that with way too much composure for it to be legit. I'll just say that was my initial reaction to it. Was they did a good job of simulating what the reaction would be, but it was just way too smooth for me to think that was an actual, because there was didn't seem to be any doubt in anybody's face. Like, they were doing the movements of what would happen if there was a major injury, but the lack of confusion and the lack of the cohesiveness of the reaction, I've had my thoughts from the beginning. And I also know, the rumor is that they're trying to set up Braun Breaker to be kind of the Batista of the group. Braun Breaker's in the lead for a couple of weeks. He kind of likes the feeling of that. Maybe this injury isn't 100% real. He's not clued in on what's going on. He don't like that. Just with my thoughts initially. True. Ask your friend here, Cam, a question or two.
All right, look, I'm still half asleep, and I talked to Cam enough. I don't have anything to ask this motherfucker. We already know. But no, I want to talk about Evolution. The most you hosted the watch party, and what was the highlight of that night for you? What, I mean, was it because you mentioned Naomi, obviously, but like, and also, how do you feel about the chemistry between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley? That seems that they continue to outdo themselves every single time. Like,
oh my gosh,
that and to tell you what, that is my favorite part, because remember how when the Undertaker's streak took off, it wasn't planned from the beginning. They just looked up and the Undertaker had a WrestleMania streak, which all of a sudden turned into defending the streak. Like, I don't know. I know I didn't realize that Rhea Ripley hadn't beaten Io Sky until they said it. You know? But what I thought was the best part, and what they did was, every time Rhea would have Io in like some crazy move that was going to finish the match or put her out, Io would have this crazy reversal, which played into that idea of, I just outdo you at every turn, setting up Rhea's frustration. I thought that was done so well. So no, that was absolutely my favorite part. Like, and I'll tell you what was really cool. The place that we did the watch party at was this bar called 1972 that only shows women's sports. And so while we've done, me and my man DJ Hella, we've done watch parties for WrestleMania and for Royal Rumble at places, this was like a new audience that came in who, like, they don't know us from nobody, but they knew that they got to come in and watch all women's wrestling. And it was, like, people brought their daughters, and like, it was like lesbian couples. And it was like, okay, like, this thing really is, it showed why it mattered. You know what I mean? Like, it showed why the show was important. And watching them react to everything, but especially that match, like the back and forth and the ebbs and flows, it was so cool. It really was. But that's the best part of the show. The main event was the best part, in that, like, I said it afterward. They said it Monday night, but I nodded my head. Io Sky got a real claim at best wrestler on the planet. She's a real claim at it. You know what I mean? Like, she can just do it all, man. And she does it all without needing to speak the language. And that tells a lot, because she can go out there with her skill set. She can go out there with her look. She can go out there with her gestures and like really be over with the audience. And that is, not to, to be super patriotic or anything, but it says a lot that you can do that in front of this huge American audience and be over in a way that very few non-native speakers have ever been, man or woman. Like, for real, who in WWE who did not speak fluent English has been this over as a main eventer? Like, there's somebody, but I don't know who off the top of my head.
I don't know if it's comparable, but like, I think probably people would see this and they would mention Asuka.
For sure.
But I don't know if Asuka was ever quite at the level
crazy.
of prestige that in the WWE that Io Sky is right now. And that there's a part of that has to go with the eras, because we do hit these like new mini eras with this with the women's wrestling, with wrestling in general, spreading out and becoming more, I don't want to say inclusive, that's not really the word I'm looking for, but more globally. People are more willing to
it casts a bigger net now. It's more accepted as being the main event.
Because Stephanie Vaquer's on the same path. She talks about not being a native speaker and like, I'm working really hard so I can talk with you guys. But like, people fucking love her already.
Yeah.
Real quick, I don't know if this Giannis to the Spurs thing is over, man. With what happened with Dame leaving,
we ain't doing this. We're not doing.
I don't know if it's over, bro.
This motherfucker got Wemby already. You got De'Aaron Fox.
They got that number 2 pick. They got that
Dylan
guy.
Harper.
Maybe a couple pieces. First thing I said when I saw Dame resigning, first of all, that's fucking hilarious. Second, Bucks got to move off of Giannis. They got to move off of Giannis like this week, like, because it's clear nobody's coming there for him, because that's why they had to panic.
They got Miles Turner. That's something. That's something.
I don't know if this Giannis to the Spurs thing is over. Little Spurs take, little Giannis take. Go ahead real quick before we get you out of here.
I think I like the guys that we have. And if he comes this way, great. I like the young core that we're putting together. And I always say this, as a Spurs fan, I've been very spoiled throughout my teens and my 20s and even my 30s. And so I try not to grasp at the idea of do the thing now, get over the hump now, and sacrifice for later. I just like to be along for the ride. So I don't see him coming, but if he comes, fantastic.
I think we got a chance. Look at Drew, he's so sad.
I ain't got time for that shit, man. Ain't no Giannis coming up. Stick with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox and Castle and all y'all got enough. Goddamn it!
I tell you what, Harper. They asked like, why did Portland do this? Portland is trying to save their souls. I think that there's somebody in that office that is like, look, we haven't been really a thing since the 90s. Everybody that we've had has either gotten hurt or left because it wasn't going right. While it may not help us right now, if we do right by, is Dame, Clyde Drexler is the greatest Blazer, right? And then Bill Walton, right? Probably, but even with a short sample size, got you a ring. And then there's Dame, and then there's Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge and Terry Porter's there somewhere, whatever.
Rasheed Wallace, Sabonis.
Sabonis, of course.
Brian Grant.
Brian Grant. I think you do right by
one of the greatest rebounders of all time. You better chill.
I think you do right by Dame, and hopefully the basketball God shine on you. But yeah. $30 million to sit at the crib. I love it.
Hey, We all wish. This has been the man who is everywhere, PWI, the ringer, uncrowned king of the dunks on Twitter, dunking on fools daily. This has been our guy, CeeHawk. Check out all the stuff he has going on. Check out all the stuff we got going on the page all week. We got football, NFL divisional previews coming up this coming week. They're going to get kicked off with the AFC North. So check that out. NBA offseason review coming up. All kinds of things going in the pot right now for DAR Sports Media. And that is because the world of DAR never stops.